Okay, so the title of my presentation is PhilSA's initiatives for know-how sharing and capacity building. I hope that I'll be able to contribute to the theme of this meeting and also try to put together the previous presentations. To start off and to give a bit of context, let me give a very short introduction about PhilSA. Okay, PhilSA is a very young agency established only in 2019 by virtue of the Philippine Space Act of 2019. So PhilSA is the central government agency addressing all national issues and activities related to space science and technology applications, or SSTA. And we are the primary policy, planning, coordinating, implementing, and administrative government entity for the National Space Program. So even though PhilSA was established only 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, we didn't start from scratch. We leveraged on the accomplishments and gains of the PHL Microsat program funded by DOST. Okay. So PhilSA has 6 key development areas of SSTA, which are entrenched in the Philippine space policy. These are national security and development, space R&D, space education and awareness, international cooperation, space industry capacity building, and hazard management and climate studies. So, and these KDAs are at the core of PhilSA's programs and activities. On the right, you can see the strategic directions of PhilSA. Perhaps the third strategic direction is the one that's most emphasized in this presentation. It says, accelerate the transfer and diffusion of space technologies and know-how throughout the Philippine society towards developing a robust and vibrant local space industry and economy. Okay. And related to this is that as a very young agency, there is so much that we must and can do. And we are, as we are doing, in order to make SSTA more known and appreciated, even felt and experienced and benefited by the Filipino society at large. And this is one of the challenges that also that we are facing, but we are doing something about it. So we need the Filipino public to have wider and deeper appreciation of SSTA. So PhilSA envisions a Filipino nation bridged, uplifted, and empowered through the peaceful uses of outer space. And our mission is to promote and sustain a robust Philippine space ecosystem that adds and creates value in space for and from Filipinos and for the world. So at the heart of everything we're doing at PhilSA is creating value in space, and we call it value creation in SSTA. We do this by developing infrastructure and technologies, both in the first in the upstream segment, especially Earth observation satellites, as highlighted in the previous presentations, and then maximizing the utilization of derived data for various downstream applications. Currently, we are continuing to create value thereby with our experiences in building Diwata 1 and 2 and Maya series. And we are still in the process of localizing some of the subsystem components and proliferating the know-how to further develop our human capital in terms of satellite development. Okay, so brief overview of the PhilSA SSTA program. Okay, so in 2020, PhilSA started 2 flagship projects under SSTA program. One is the Build in Space, or B3IS project. This will continue the development of Philippine satellites as a vital component of national information infrastructure. And the second one is mobilizing space data for digital inclusion, economy, and government. In addition to these flagship projects, PhilSA has invested efforts and resources for human capital development. such as the following. So we have initiated efforts to integrate SSTA in the basic education program. And also we have started providing scholarship grants through what we call the ADASA scholarship program for Filipino scholars who are interested in pursuing SSTA-related courses for their postgraduate studies. And finally, the capacity building that we are doing for our government and industry partners. Okay, so now we have this in PhilSA. We have starting 2022, we have this trust called Escuela, which is an acronym for Inclusive SSTA Know-how Utilization, Exchange, and Localization Activities. Okay, so actually, Escuela in our language, it means school, and perhaps it's also a Spanish word, escuela, which means school also. So this is PhilSA's trust of cascading space science and technology applications, knowledge and capabilities across the country. So with Escuela, we envision building an inclusive, sustainable, and capable Philippine space science and technology community. And how do we do this? We do this by engaging and capacitating stakeholders and other partners through technology transfer and training. This is really in line with what I've said earlier, that in the Philippines, there is a challenge, but that's also an opportunity for us to make SSTA more, make the public more aware and appreciative of SSTA. So Escuela consists of training and capacity building engagements with the academe, government agencies, and private sector industries, as well as non-profit organizations. So we believe that by extending PhilSA's know-how and technology to interested sectors, so we are not limiting it to ourselves, then we are able to multiply the value of the country's current capability. So we're able to, in a way, recruit, so to speak, other institutions and players to contribute and participate in the space activities. So under Escuela Trust, there are a couple of projects that started this year, and I wanted to give a run-through of these projects. Okay. First one is the Access Nanosat projects, which is actually an acronym for Advancing Core Competencies and Expertise in Space Studies, Nanosat projects. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to continue the accomplishments and even extend the accomplishments of the STEPA projects, which designed, developed, and launched the Maya CubeSats, and in the process trained Filipino students, okay, locally. So with Access Nanosat projects, PhilSA aims to continue the country's nanosat R&D and educational initiatives. And so compared to compared to Step Up, so what we are doing is we are transitioning and institutionalizing nanosat R&D and education in PhilSA. But of course, that would always be in partnership with academic institutions. But in the past, it was the DOST who was providing the scholarship grant. So with Access Nanosat, PhilSA takes the responsibility and provides the scholarship grants to the students who will be taking master's degree in electrical engineering with specialization in nanosatellite engineering. Okay. And this master's program is the same graduate program that were in the Step Up scholars who developed Maya 3 to 6 were enrolled, okay, while developing, launching, and operating the satellites. So So in Access Nanosat, we are selecting the members from different parts of the country and also from different institutions through a selection process. And then the successful applicants will receive the scholarship grants. They will enroll in the graduate program in the University of the Philippines, Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute. And then they will sign up for the CubeSat projects funded, managed, and supervised by PhilSA in cooperation with UP. This will follow the similar project-based learning approach that was followed in previous Maya CubeSat projects, but perhaps the more leverage that we have is the engineers that were trained in previous satellite projects. That means including those scholars that were sent to Japanese universities will be the ones who will mentor and guide the scholars in the overall process of satellite development. Okay, this is the timeline of the project. So we will kick off the satellite project next month, and then it's about 2.5 years. So the expected launch of the satellite will be July of 2024. Okay. And the next is the INCRADLE projects, which stands for Expanding CubeSat Research and Development Efforts in Philippine Universities. So the objective here is to promote the expansion of nanosat R&D and education in the academe. Under INCRADLE, we have two main activities. One is which we organized with the STEPA projects last month, is what we call the CubeSat Design and Development web series. So in this web series, we provided the members of the UNISEC PH sort of a crash course on or an overview to the following topics. So introduction to small satellite systems and engineering and project management, space environment testing, CubeSat subsystems, even topics related to safety review process. And also we spent some time explaining yung Bird's open source bus. So this is really geared towards providing sharing technical know-how to Philippine universities based on our experiences. Okay. Another activity under the INCRADLE project is our own nanosatellite mission idea competition. So this is going to yet to be launched, and the idea here is to provide Philippine universities with university teams with an opportunity to propose mission ideas for a 2U CubeSat to be developed under the Access Nanosat projects. And the prize here is that the 3 winning universities will have the chance to realize their proposals and get involved in the nanosatellite mission design process of the CubeSat. So as you can see here, the 1U part, lower 1U part is the traditional Bird's bus, and then the upper part will dedicate for the missions, including the missions to be proposed by the Nanosat Mission Idea Contest participants or contestants. Okay, and then next is we have this industrial projects, which stands for integrated development of a unified standard 3U system. So with industrial projects, we envision empowering local companies to engage in space technology development. That's the first one, and the second aim is to ensure safety and reliability of future upstream technology, space technology products and services developed in the Philippines. Basically, what we are doing in this project is we will develop a 3U CubeSat up to a preliminary design level with industry partners. And the industry partners that we tapped here are those, well, some of them we have tapped in previous satellite projects, but some of them are new. But the only requirement is they have interest and they are they can dedicate time for the activities. And then second one is for the second objective is we will coordinate with a relevant PhD of government agency to promote the promulgation of space-related standards in the country, and also to gradually participate in the standardization process of ISO. So there are two things here: the promulgation of the existing standards, and the other one is the drafting of our internal handbooks based on existing standards, but customized to the experience and situation of PhilSA. So this will guide our future satellite development within PhilSA and in collaboration with industry players. Okay. So in industry use, we provided satellite engineering theory training, very similar to what we did in CubeSat design workshop. Actually, we held it jointly with UNISEC-PH member universities. Okay, and then after providing them with the training theoretical background, then the PhilSA engineers provided a practical training or more of a hands-on mentoring between PhilSA engineers and industry engineers. So this is so that the engineers will have, in a way, will be mentored by PhilSA engineers, but at the same time, PhilSA engineers will also learn from the industry engineers. So it's going to be a bi-directional exchange and learning. Okay, and then next one is the FLP integration. This is the platform that we are establishing for two purposes. One is so that we have better capacity in testing the hardware modules that we developed in previous projects. And second one is so that we can use this as a capacity building or training platform for government agencies, academic institutions, and other organizations. Okay. Okay. Second to the last is the NEST project, which stands for Nationwide Network for Educational Satellite and Terrestrial Station. So with the NEST project, what we aim to do is we will deploy amateur radio kits throughout the country, but only 20 to 30 selected high schools. And the objective here is to stimulate the interest in satellite technology and promote STEM education. So we're going to deploy a low-cost amateur radio kit and use it to train students in amateur radio and amateur satellite operation. And with this, we hope that we'll be able to inspire students to pursue STEM education, particularly, or one of this is space engineering. Okay. And finally, we have this SICA project, which stands for Space Infrastructure Know-how and Applications Acceleration through Promotion and Training. And this project is actually funded by the Trans-Eurasia Information Network program of Asia Connect, which is funded by the European Union. So what we want to achieve in this project is we want to strengthen the scientific cooperation among members of the Asian Microsatellite Consortium and the BIRDS program, and expand the cooperation to non-member nations in the region. So under these projects, we have activities that will promote the exchange of know-how and best practices in ground station operations, amateur radio operations, and also facilitate resource sharing in scientific studies and advance situational awareness and sustainability in outer space activities. So in a nutshell, this SICA project aims to is a platform wherein practitioners of satellite operation and remote sensing are able to share and exchange their experiences in order to learn from each other. And also it's a platform for scientific collaboration. Okay. So under this we have training activities which will be participated by both local and international participants. Okay. And we have already jump started the first training. Okay, so I think that's for my presentation. Thank you for. I'm sorry for a bit of overtime. Yeah. So yeah, but before I end, finally, so just want to end by emphasizing PhilSA's initiatives are really centered towards creating establishing a vibrant space industry, and that entails the involving various players in the industry, academia, and government, and also international partnerships. Okay, thank you.